keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
Thanks so much for joining us on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. I'm Emerald Morrow in for Miranda Parnell. First, we are keeping an eye on two storms in the tropics. We just got this video out of Belize where Tropical Storm Nadine made landfall this afternoon. You can see and hear strong winds at Half Moon Cay. 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist Colleen Campbell is here tracking Nadine and Hurricane Oscar.
Yep.
And I mean, we've got like post-traumatic storm disorder going on here.
Yeah, we do. And we certainly don't want any more storms. We know that hurricane season goes until November 30th. But luckily, these are not impacting Florida. Of course, we don't want any of our neighbors impacted by these storms, but they seem to be pretty small in scale. Let's get to it. We've had some developments, and a lot of you are probably saying, wait a second, did I miss something? No, you didn't. These developments happened earlier today. We had Nadine that formed into a tropical storm ahead of making landfall near Belize. That is a tropical storm, and since it's overland, it will be weakening fairly soon. And Oscar quickly intensified. It is currently a Category 1 storm, and that is going to recur. So let's break down Nadine first. So this is a tropical storm. It is inland. And again, these tropical systems, once they hit land, generally they do weaken, especially if it's starting off as a tropical storm status. But notice they do have a tropical storm warning that's still in effect. They will still see pretty heavy rainfall out that way around the Yucatan and portions of Belize as Nadine makes her journey out to the west. If you're wondering what the ensemble models are looking like, it will drag it into the Pacific Ocean and away from us, so no threats there. As we move into Hurricane Oscar, this is a storm that rapidly intensified. You can see that we have areas in Cuba that's under that tropical storm watch that's highlighted in the yellow, and then portions of Turk and Caicos Islands as well as the Bahamas are under that tropical storm warning, hurricane warning that was upgraded, of course, when we had the hurricane that formed. That hurricane did intensify this afternoon around 2 p.m. Now, Oscar is set to recurve. As soon as it makes its way towards Cuba, it's going to make a turn for the northeast. And the ensemble models are pretty much agreeing with that. We have a couple outliers there, but generally all the models have this moving out towards the Bermuda area and again, away from the Florida peninsula. So no threats to Florida right now. Of course, we want our neighbors to stay safe. If anybody has a cruise for the Bahamas, well, then I would keep an eye on this. And of course, we will have more updates online.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Well, Milton hit the Bay Area a week and a half ago. For some communities, it looks and feels like it was just yesterday. This weekend, though, more help is on the way. The state is hosting 3 insurance villages, all open tomorrow. The locations are in Bradenton, Clearwater, and Plant City. These villages allow you to meet your insurance carriers in person and work together to file claims. Tomorrow is the only day these 3 locations will be open. The state says its villages have helped more than 1,500 policyholders since Monday. Hurricane Milton ripped the roof right off of St. Petersburg City Theater just shy of its 100th anniversary. Volunteers just finished cleaning as much damage as they could.
We've survived through world wars and kept the doors open. We survived the pandemic. We kept shows going, recessions, depressions. We have kept this thing going. We're not going to stop now.
And damage extended from the auditorium to the dressing rooms and the backstage areas. A Gulfport restaurant is hosting a benefit for people devastated by back-to-back hurricanes. For many people, it is the first chance they've had to enjoy a night out with friends.
Everybody that's come and everybody that's played has said thank you. So I feel like people need this as much as they're working through everything they're working through. They need this camaraderie and community.
Absolutely. Well, the restaurant hopes to raise $10,000. A local nonprofit has promised to match the total raised tonight. In Safety Harbor, free pet food for families in need. SPCA Tampa Bay handed out supplies to the community trying to recover from both Milton and Helene.
We're out here in Safety Harbor today distributing pet food and supplies, just trying to meet that need and do what we can to help people in a time of need be able to keep their pets fed, give them anything that they might need.
The SPCA is also looking for donations, and you can learn how to help at SPCA Tampa Bay's website. Tonight, 7 Pinellas County parks are back open. All others are closed for either cleanup or to be used as FEMA sites. The county says you should still expect some trails and areas to be closed off while the cleanup process continues. And we are here to connect you with all of the resources in your neighborhood. We have a county by county guide ready for you right now at 10tampabay.com/recovery. Just 16 days now until the presidential election. Early voting is underway across some states. This weekend, the candidates are keeping their eyes on the prize in battleground states with campaign events in Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Here's CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez.
Hey, Detroit, are we ready?
Vice President Kamala Harris took the stage in Detroit as in-person early voting kicked off Saturday in the Motor City.
As we spend these next 17 days, we're going to go vote today. We're going to remind people to vote. We're going to register folks to vote.
More than 1 million Michiganders have already voted by mail in the November 5th election.
And we know, look, the race is tight. It's going to be hard work, but we like hard work.
Both Harris and former President Donald Trump raced the rhetoric Friday as they crisscrossed the state.
She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
Donald Trump, one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history.
Later, Harris appears in Atlanta. Early voting is also underway in Georgia. Saturday evening, Trump is set to speak in battleground Pennsylvania. Sunday, Trump will rally in Westmoreland County. There, the former president is focusing on about 200,000 voters who could help him win Pennsylvania's crucial 19 electoral votes. Christian Benavidez, CBS News.
Now let's get you in the know with some other stories making headlines this evening. Cuba gets some electricity back after a widespread power outage left millions in the dark. One of the country's major power plants failed. Schools shut down and most government workers were sent home. Tonight, there's no official estimate for when power will be fully restored. Striking workers at Boeing will vote next week on a new offer that could end a month-long walkout. Boeing and the union negotiated a new proposal that would raise pay by 35% over 4 years and includes upfront bonuses of $7 grand per worker. The strike has crippled most airplane production at Boeing, and the company's CEO has announced layoffs. Our mail carriers are also working on getting a raise. USPS has reached a tentative contract with some 200,000 workers to boost pay and to provide air-conditioned trucks. The deal needs to be ratified by union workers, and if it all works out, the deal would run through 2026. Well, tonight, a big loss for the East Tampa community. Noreen Copeland Miller of the Belmont Heights Neighborhood Association has died. She's remembered for her advocacy and was instrumental in saving the historic Memorial Park Cemetery after it went to auction and landed in the hands of a property flipper. Eileen Henderson, founder of the Cemetery Society, said this on her passing, quote, "She was a tireless advocate and expressed an unwavering support for East Tampa. She was a rock star and a Tampa legend. She will be missed dearly."
10 Tampa Bay's Storm Recovery Special. Ask the experts. Answered your hurricane-related questions.
We are here to get you the help you need.
From insurance to filing with FEMA, tree removal, and more.
When you start tearing into things that have visible mold on it, the spores can get in the air.
Even if you didn't experience damage, it can help you prepare for future storms.
Can a renter get help from FEMA?
Absolutely.
Stream it today on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Search Storm Recovery. Ask the experts.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! Let's have some fun.
This season will truly be unlike any other.
This has never happened before on Wheel of Fortune.
With bigger trips.
Yeah, baby.
Bigger prizes.
I'd love to take you backstage to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And bigger surprises.
There it is.
What a great show!
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay. 10 Tampa Bay's Weather Impact Alert takes forecasting to the next level.
Especially during hurricane season.
Our Weather Impact team alerts you to dangerous weather days before it happens,
Landfall looking like Wednesday, early Thursday.
telling you the impacts you can expect in your area
Flash flooding from fresh water.
Not having power for a few days.
and how to stay safe.
Sebring, you need to be in your safe spot.
Weather Impact Alert, only on 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back. I'm Emerald Morrow here with meteorologist Colleen Campbell. And Colleen, we've had some cool mornings. It's been really nice. Tell us, is it going to stick around?
Yes and no. We have little itty bitty changes that are on the way. A little bit more cloud cover today. It's still breezy, but a hint more humidity. So not terrible.
Not terrible.
Yeah. We'll take it. I think we'll take it after the last couple of weeks.
100%.
So, yeah, so let's get a live look around the region. Beautiful conditions. It's been a day, Emerald, where you can really leave your windows open and just enjoy it. So here's a live look across the area, all the way from downtown Tampa to Armature Works, Clearwater Beach, St. Pete, and of course Port Richey. Beautiful conditions all around. Hopefully you've been enjoying the breeze. It's not that scary breeze that's associated with tropical systems. We do have a tighter pressure gradient that's allowing those winds to really be blowing as we move into the next few afternoons and not really calming down, but it's okay. It's giving us a nice refreshing feel. Temperatures are currently in the upper 70s and lower 80s, slightly cooler for inland locations, but not by much. We have a lot of double sevens out there. Maybe go play a lottery ticket. All right, temperature change. We're about 1 to 2 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday. So that's not a big dramatic change, right? But if you look at the dew point change, we are 5 to 6 degrees warmer when you look at those dew points. So what that breaks down to is it is slightly more humid outside. Some of you, depending on your heat tolerance, may have shut the windows. If you're like me and you love the heat or at least the warmer breezes, you may have left them open for another day. So we're getting back to how temperatures should feel for this time of the year. It was a little bit cooler to start off our week, and now we're getting back to normal. Current winds are still blowing in from the northeast. We have winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, but gusts even stronger than that, up to 25 miles per hour. Now we do have a small craft advisory that's in effect for our water just because it will be choppy the next couple of days. That goes until Monday, so please be careful for those vessels out on the water. As we look at a satellite and radar, we have high pressure that's locked in place. What this is doing is it's providing us with drier air, but also it has that tight pressure gradient, meaning that the winds will remain pretty breezy here, even as that high pressure slides out to the east there. Down across the southern end of the peninsula, and of course going into the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, that's where we have two tropical systems. One's closer to the Yucatan, and then the other one, Oscar, that we went over at the beginning of the show, that's closer to Turks and Caicos. A closer look here, again, just a few clouds for today out to the east, a couple sprinkles on the other coast. Next 6 hours, temperatures will gradually fall down to the lower 70s, upper 60s. Not a bad night. Overnight temperatures will generally be in the mid to upper 60s. That's pretty seasonable for this time of the year. A couple clouds out there, and for tomorrow, you may see an inland sprinkle spring up, mainly for those areas that are just offshore. But again, anything that we did receive tomorrow would be short-lived. That's because we have winds that are changing direction a bit and coming more in from the east that will deliver just a little bit more moisture. That's why we increased that cloud cover. But overall, the dry weather is locked in place up to the north of us, and that's what's bringing us the pretty pleasant weather. As we look at our 7-day forecast here, we have the Bucks game coming up on Monday. And again, nice dry stretch here. Besides the breezes, really nothing to worry about locally here at home. Of course, we have those updates on the tropics for you always. Anybody that has any plans to go to the Bahamas and you want to check in with us, we'll be happy to update you on that with Oscar and Oscar's progress. But otherwise, no threats to Florida.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Well, the president of Carnival Cruises took a big leap this afternoon to help support hurricane relief. Christine Duffy jumped from a World War II airplane with members of U.S. Special Forces. As 10 Tampa Bay's Nick Valturo tells us, Duffy is working with actor Gary Sinise to help veterans and first responders recover from Hurricane Milton.
It was a sweet symphony at Port Tampa Bay, the president of Carnival Cruise Lines teaming up with actor Gary Sinise to help hurricane victims.
Well, the Gary Sinise Foundation is specifically targeting this donation to those first responders and military members who have personally been impacted by the hurricanes.
Carnival's corporate chairman will match donations, doubling the impact of every dollar given to help first responders.
They're the first ones to run into the disaster, and so we want to make sure that there is money to support them and their families, because they also have lost a lot through the devastating storm.
Combined, the two organizations raised over $150,000.
Absolutely, and what you hear from people is always the first people there are neighbors helping neighbors, and that's really what this country is all about.
Today's fundraiser happening as special forces gather in Tampa for a cruise.
And then giving back to our community. I mean, this is what I live for. This is my passion post-military. So, yeah, bringing any fundraising that we can do to help people out is what it's all about.
Taking the community one step closer to healing and rebuilding.
That's really what Gary Sinise Foundation focused on, helping our first responders and our military members who do so much for all of us to protect our freedoms.
In Tampa, Nick Volturo, 10 Tampa Bay.
Great efforts there. Thank you, Nick. Well, Duffy hopes to raise even more money. The funds will help support military and first responders who are working to help communities rebuild after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. A star player is now on the Buccaneers injury report. Who it is and why it might hurt Tampa Bay's chances Monday night against the Ravens.
That was the most devastating hurricane that I've ever seen.
This hurricane season has changed so many lives around the Bay Area.
Seeing water coming through the door at full speed, and it just getting higher and higher.
And many of you may be wondering how you can help pitch in.
It's like hurricane fatigue.
A great way to start is by going to volunteerflorida.org.
That's why I'm here. I want to help them out.
There you'll find all the information you need, including projects and locations.
10 Tampa Bay thanks everyone who is helping our community recover.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
The next super champion could be anyone. It could be you.
That's amazing.
On Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
10 Tampa Bay's Storm Recovery Special. Ask the experts. Answered your hurricane-related questions.
We are here to get you the help you need.
From insurance to filing with FEMA, tree removal, and more.
When you start tearing into things that have visible mold on it, the spores can get in the air.
Even if you didn't experience damage, it can help you prepare for future storms.
Can a renter get help from FEMA?
Absolutely.
Stream it today on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Search Storm Recovery. Ask the experts.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! There it is.
Yeah, baby.
Let's have some fun.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay. Now, sponsored by Advent Health. This is 10 Sports.
The Lightning came into today with a chance to go 4-0 for the first time in 21 years and leave it to the Ottawa Senators to make sure that did not happen. They have a knack for beating Tampa Bay. They beat them 3 out of 4 times last year and have taken the first of 4 this season. The Bolts put up a fight this afternoon. They were down 2-0 before Nikita Kucherov cut that deficit in half. He's got 7 goals in the first 4 games. Later in the second period, Tampa Bay down 1 again. Jake Gensel lights the lamp for the first time in a Lightning sweater. We hope to see that much more this year. Now, we hope to see a lot less of this throughout the season. Tampa Bay was dominated on special teams this afternoon. Brady Tkachuk scored on the power play to end the second period, and then Noah Gregor scores shorthanded in the third. Senators win 5-4, and now the Bolts take on their rival Maple Leafs on Monday. That same evening, of course, the Bucks take on the Ravens in the national spotlight. 3 players have been ruled out for that game: Payne Durham, Cameron Johnson, and Jamel Dean. That means Tyrik Funderburk should start at cornerback. There was another defender added to the report today. Vita Vea did not practice with a hamstring injury. He is now questionable from Monday's game, and that certainly is not what you want to see heading into a big-time matchup like this. The Ravens come into this game with the top rushing offense in the NFL. Not only does Todd Bowles' group have to worry about Jackson scrambling, but they've got Derrick Henry now at running back, and that brother leads the NFL in both rushing yards and touchdowns. He's found the end zone 8 times and has 704 yards on the ground. That's almost 100 more than the second leading rusher. And then the team has to worry about covering the 2 tight ends for the Ravens, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Ever since Servassier Dennis went down in the Eagles game, the Bucs have given up a total of 21 receptions and 282 yards to tight ends in their last 3 games. It's a weakness that Baltimore will likely look to exploit. We're going to talk about it all on The Blitz tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay. Evan Klosky and I will make sure you have everything you need to know going into this primetime clash between a pair of 4-2 teams. You can also watch The Blitz today on 10 Tampa Bay Plus and our 10 Tampa Bay YouTube page. At the collegiate level, the Gators are about to host Kentucky in their homecoming game in about an hour. Florida has won 2 of its last 3 games, but Graham Mertz is out for the season. That means DJ Lagway will be the quarterback the rest of the way. As for some games that have already gone final, how about Cam Ward this afternoon for number 6 Miami? A 300-yard, 4-touchdown performance to lead the Canes to a 52-45 win against Louisville. Miami is off to its best start since 2017. Meanwhile, things are the opposite for Florida State. They're off to the worst start since 1975 after falling to Duke for the first time last night, 23-16. And guess what? They taking on Cam Ward and those mighty Miami Hurricanes next week. So best of luck with that one. That's
since 1975?
Yeah, 1975.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a real long time.
It's a very long time.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching 10 Tampa Bay this weekend. We'll see you again tonight at 11.